I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in the UK test part 36. Religious conflicts part 2, which is a part of the Tudors and Stuarts on page 22. We're doing a bit standing yoga, and if you participate in these physical exercises, that is at your own risk. But we want to make first one question of a previous chapter, which was that we make sure to understand the Wars of the Roses and the founding of the House of Tudor. That is an easy question, because that was very easy explained. So, in 1455, the Wars of the Roses started as a civil war. They lasted for 30 years, so if we got one of these numbers, we can calculate them. So we started in 1455, lasted 30 years until 1485. In 1485 was the battle ending battle, the Battle of Bosworth Field, in which the leader of the House of York, the White One, died, King Richard III, and his niece Elizabeth of York married Henry Tudor, the leader of the House of Lancaster, who had the Red Rose. And through that, the families united, they were allied, and they needed a new symbol, and that is the Tudor Rose, which has part of the White Rose of the House of York and part of the Red Rose, the House of Lancaster, and looks like this. They are the Tudors. So, I guess we understand it all, except for that one question, the effects of the Black Death. And the other one, the development of, yes, English language, yes, that was explained good, but of culture. That is way too little explained here to answer the question, just even if we tried. So, the Tudors and Stuarts, religious conflicts, is the part. Let's initiate the standing yoga. We're having the feet standing together, breathing in and releasing the arms up. And we're breathing out. And breathing in again. And out. And breathing in. And now out, breathing back, and we're opening the chest to the sky. Breathe again in, lift the arms again up. And out and releasing again back. Again in. Toss the hands and out and releasing again back. In back into the middle. And out and releasing again back. In. And out. And now we're going to read about the religious conflicts of a chapter of the part, the Tudors and Stuarts. While we're doing the moderator, we're having the feet standing together, and we're going to the front onto the toes with the weight of our body, and then back onto the heels, and then back and forth. After his victory, meant is Henry Tudor, or then King Henry VII, in the Wars of the Roses, I'm not going to explain that now again, I'll do it later again, multiple times. Henry VII wanted to make sure that England remained peaceful and that his position as king was secure. That is a long sentence. King Henry VII, the one of the House of Lancaster, he wanted that England remained peaceful, so not another 30-year-long civil war as the Wars of the Roses was from 1455 until 1485. And he also wanted to secure his position as king. Okay, that is 8, so I can't solve it. Picture now. And yes, he wanted to secure his position. He deliberately strengthened the central administration of England and reduced the power of the nobles. But again, pretty complex. So let's do the triangle. The toes of one leg are pointing to the outside, the toes of one leg are pointing to that direction. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out and we're shifting forward. And now we're breathing in. And out, and we're coming down. With one hand, we're taking our leg and we're looking up to the other hand. And we're breathing just in and out. Again in and out. Back into the middle. We are changing the position of our feet. These toes in that direction, that one is it. that direction, something like that. We're breathing in and out. We're shifting again forward, just with the upper body, with the thorax, and we're breathing in and out. We're taking again hold onto our leg for one hand, and we're looking up to the other hand, which is high up in the air. And we're breathing in and out. Okay. And out, and we're exiting with a triangle. The next one will be the chair, but first, that sentence again. He deliberately, that means he did that freely, more or less, he deliberately strengthened the central administration of England. Now, what is that? He deliberately strengthened the central administration of England and reduced the power of the nobles. So the nobles had become more powerful when King John in 1215 had to sign the Magna Carta, for which the nobility got secured its rights. Now, King Henry VII reduced the power of the nobles, and he strengthened the central administration of England. What is the central administration of England? We know of a parliament, we know of a House of Parliament in Westminster, we know of two houses, the House of Commons and the House of Lords. We know of King Henry VII, and we know of the nobility. Now, and something is now the central administration. He was thrifty and built up the monarchy's financial reserves. I think the word is thrivy. That makes sense. I don't know the word, but I know the word thrivy. I know it's written differently, spelled differently. He was thrifty, he was thrivy, and built up the monarchy's financial reserves. So, thriving would do an apple tree if it gives a lot of apples. So that could make sense. He built up the monarchy's financial reserves. I'm going to look it up what thrifty means. Maybe it's just thriving. But now to the chair. We're having the feet standing together. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing in. And out, we're coming up onto the toes. Now we're breathing again. And we're breathing out, and we're sinking down into the chair. And we're breathing in. And out, we're coming again up, still on tiptoes. I never leave that position. We're breathing in. And out, and we're going again down into the chair. And now we're coming up, still on tiptoes. We're going out and letting the arms down, and we're also coming down. Maybe we have time for the sunboard, maybe not. Now let's do it. No, let's do it. I don't know. He was thrifty and built up the monarchy's financial reserves. So he got more money. That was, through Magna Carta, for example, made harder for the king. There the king could not collect taxes as he wanted, and if he wanted to collect money, he had to ask the noblemen. What was the sentence exactly? In England, parliaments were called for the king to consult his nobles, particularly when the king needed to raise money. So if the king needed to raise money after the Magna Carta, 1215, he needed to call the parliament to consult them. Parliaments were called for the king to consult his nobles. And now he built up the monarchy's financial reserves and reduced also the power of the nobles, and he strengthened the central administration of England. When he died, his son Henry VIII, now the picture comes to be in handy, continued the policy of centralizing power. That is meant. So King Henry VII deliberately strengthened the central administration of England. That is himself. If we take the second sentence, Henry VIII, his son Henry VIII continued the policy of centralizing power. Okay, that doesn't have to mean that's to the king, to the monarch himself or themselves, but the policy of centralizing power. But it must mean something like that. Let's do the sun god. We are having the legs standing wide apart. We are breathing in and lifting the arms up. We're breathing out and we're sinking down. And now we're breathing in, coming up again, and out we're sinking and down. Let's do it one more time. We're breathing in. And again down, breathe out. And now, come up onto one leg, onto the other, one leg, we're all the time on our legs, onto the toes. And we're breathing in. And out we're coming again up, still standing on tiptoes. And out we're sinking again down, still standing on tiptoes. Let's do it one more time. We're breathing in. And out we're coming up. And out. And down. Let's bring the standing yoga to a good closing. We are having the feet standing, pointing to the outside and ulnar limb space between the heels. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And out, and we're sinking down and we're placing the elbows against the insides of the knees. Now we're breathing in and we're straightening up the back. And we're breathing out and we're going the back up. And breathe again in. And out back into the garland pose. Breathe in and straighten again the back up. And out, we're coming again back up. And breathe in. And out into the garland pose. Now breathe in. And out, we're coming slowly up in one straight line. We're keeping the hands up, closing our feet. Breathe in. And out, we're doing the down diving swan. Breathe in and come halfway up into the monkey half with a straight back. And breathe again out and come down. And breathe again in and come halfway up. And again out, again down. Now breathe in and we're doing the up diving swan. Close my hands and breathe out. And we're done with the yoga. 3 minutes left. We're gonna use every one of these 180 seconds. When he died, his son Henry VIII continued the policy of centralizing power, the central administration of England. If it is the monarchy or the monarch, why did they not write monarch? So it is not the monarch. But okay. Maybe the rest will explain more. Henry VIII was most famous for breaking away from the Church of Rome and marrying 6 times. And we should learn what is most famous about someone. It makes a bit sense to know what is most famous to live in the UK. But from a historical point of view, that's another question. But we have here a picture of a portrait of King Henry VIII. King Henry VIII was King of England from the 21st April 59 until his death on 28 April 1547. Here again, the portrait of King Henry VIII. Now, and here they are very specific with the dates. Are they important for the test? Why in this book or the following chapters? I don't know, but the dates are 21st April and 21st April 59. That's the time where he was king, so that is important. And his death was 28 January 1547. These are many numbers. And these are not the easiest numbers. 21st April 59, 28 January 1547. It won't be so easy, but we have 70 seconds left. So, most famous, that is what we have to know to live in the UK, is that he broke away from the Church of Rome. We will learn more to the Church of England on page 68. And that he married 6 times. The 6 wives of Henry VIII. We will do that in the next video. And here we have a little info to the test. Life in the UK test. Yes, we're learning for it. You may be asked specific questions about Henry VIII's wives. Has that such a great influence on the day-to-day English life? How many or what wives King Henry VIII had? Or is it just gossip? As well as the facts given here, you should learn the order he married her. That is important. So it's not so important, I guess, that we know the big five of UK, but the order in which King Henry VIII had his wives. Maybe it's important to cross the street or something. So, the values and principles of the UK. What is the UK that are not the guidelines of the UK? I don't have time to find it again. It had democracy, individual liberties, freedom of belief and religion, and participating in community life. Thank you very much, and until next time.